If you do a quick internet search out there on manipulation red flags or signs or symptoms of manipulation, you're going to find a lot of articles and videos telling you the things to look for. And a lot of times what they're telling you to look for are things to detect that the other person is doing. That is really great information, but the problem is a lot of manipulators are so subtle and covert with the way they manipulate, it can be really hard to detect what they're doing, especially if they're making an active effort to hide it. So in this video, I'm going to teach you how to detect manipulation when it's very subtle and covert. Let's dive in. One of the things that it's important to understand about a really covert manipulator is that this is a person who has been practicing and polishing these behaviors for decades. Even if this is someone that's doing it subconsciously and doesn't realize they're doing it, they still, just like all of us, have been learning and growing their whole life, and the behaviors they use to interact with their environment have been getting more and more refined over time. That means if they're a covert manipulator, they've been practicing that behavior for decades. And unless you've also been practicing detecting covert manipulation for decades, you don't stand a chance. That's why I'm going to teach you how to use what I call the black hole method to detect really covert manipulation. The black hole method goes like this. If you think about a black hole, one of the things that's really difficult about studying them is that you can't see them directly. Because they absorb and take in all light, there's no way to directly detect a black hole. What we have to look for are the things that are happening around it. If you begin to see gravity behaving in strange ways around an area and pulling in other objects or pulling in light when there's no mass that you can detect in that area, that is a sign that you have a black hole in that area. We're going to use the same principles to learn to detect really covert manipulation. I want you to think of the actual tactics and behaviors that a covert manipulator is using like a black hole. If you try to look at them directly, you're not going to be able to see them because they have been practicing these behaviors for decades. They are so polished at them that they are invisible to you, and many times they're invisible to them as well. So how do we detect them? Well, we have to look for signs in the environment around the manipulative behavior. And that means looking for signs in, say, ourselves, or signs in other people around that person that you suspect may be being manipulative. What I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to give you 8 signs that you can look for in yourself or in other people around the person that you suspect is being manipulative to help you detect that covert manipulation. Here's sign number 1. You feel like discussions with them are very difficult or uncomfortable until you start to agree with them. Now, everybody's different and some people are harder to deal with than others. But if there's a person in your life that you consistently notice that conversations are awkward or even hostile until you come in line and start to agree with them, there's a good chance that person is being manipulative. Sign number 2. You notice that you make really clear, decisive decisions when they're not around, but when they are around, you become very indecisive or struggle to make good decisions, or you just end up going along with their recommendation. This is a sign that they're using criticism or intellectual bullying to make you doubt your decisions and come in line with what they want. Sign number 3. The thought of just saying a simple but firm no to them seems really mean or cruel or really scary. This is a sign that someone is either using guilt or pity or sympathy, or maybe they're using fear or intimidation to manipulate you. Sign number 4. It seems like every time you're alone and you're upset with them about something and you want to go talk to them about it, by the time you're done talking to them, you realize you were the one in the wrong and you feel bad. That's a sign that someone is using blame switching or guilt against you to manipulate you. Sign number 5. You feel like you could never just say no to them about something and leave it at that. That anytime you say no to them, you'd have to give them a justification and convince them why saying no was the right thing to do. Making you feel like you have to justify every decision you make and get their approval of it is a very covert manipulative tactic. And you feeling like this is a sign that someone's been doing that to you. Number 6, you have credentials and knowledge and experience that would make you think you should know more about quite a few topics than they do. But yet every time you talk, it seems like they know a lot more than you do. There's really no conversations where you're the expert. That's a sign that somebody's been making you doubt your own thoughts, your own beliefs, your own expertise, and getting you to trust theirs instead, even if they don't have the credentials to back it up. Sign 7. Other people are consistently confused as to why you don't just put your foot down with this person or say no to them. But those other people don't understand that your relationship is complicated. This is a sign that you might be being manipulated by the person you're in a relationship with, and there's a good chance that the people around you are wondering the same thing. Sign number 8, and this is one worth taking note of. No matter how happy or confident or energized you were when you went into the conversation with them, you find that you consistently come out of conversations with this person feeling drained and just generally icky. What's happening there is your subconscious is telling you that it's tired because you've been fending off and parrying all of their manipulative tactics through that conversation. Now, I do want to say that it's perfectly normal for some of these feelings to come up or things to happen with another person occasionally. And there may be one or two things that are even persistent or consistent with the same person. That in and of itself doesn't mean that you're dealing with someone who's trying to manipulate you. But if you had to check several of these boxes and signs off with the same person, and when you look back, you realize that these things consistently come up, or you consistently feel these ways with the same person, there's a very good chance that that person's manipulating you, even if you can't see or detect their manipulative behavior directly. If you want to be a little bit more sure, you can go to the link below to Clear-ity's website and download a free 36-question self-quiz to help you detect whether or not you're being manipulated. I hope this video has been helpful to you. If you liked it, please do us a favor and hit that like button below. If you want more content like this, or you want to learn more about manipulation or get clear on any other topics, go ahead and click on subscribe, and we'll keep you updated on all of our new videos and content as we release them. Take care of yourself out there, and as always, be well.
Clear-ity. Get clear on everything.